Akpabio na my brother. But Akpabio must go. Akpabio must go, my brother. Tinubu must go.
So guys, glad to have you once again on my YouTube channel, Discovery Africa TV. So guys, for those of you watching this video for the first time or joining us for the first time, please endeavor to subscribe to this YouTube channel and don't forget to put on your notification icon so that you get notified whenever we have our videos uploaded to this YouTube channel. So that is also it. So guys, on this video we got to cover regarding what is happening in Nigeria and Africa, and as you ought to know that regarding the current protest and current delivery and engagement by some Nigerians insisting on their end bad government protest, we're here to give you as it all going, you understand. So I have a lot of stories and a gist for you today. I just wanted to stay connected to the end of this very video. Mind you, the president have actually come out, since the protests have actually started. I made you understand in one of my videos that it was actually peaceful in some part of Nigeria. It was not peaceful in some part because it was actually hijacked by some hoodlums, destroying properties and several things like that. And even though the security personnel agent came out to actually to scare some of those people, but up till now, these Nigerians still insist not going back on their agitations. Now, like I make you understand that the president have actually came out to address his citizens, but they still insist that Mr. President, we are not going back. Now, there's a lot of offenses that some people committed during the protest. Maybe they don't know or thereabout, because some of them, we see them carrying flags that belongs to other countries, and that is a treasonable felony. In a sense, that is a criminal offense under the law. And you can see some of them shouting that the military should take over and several other things like that. So that is what we'll be taking and engaging in today's video. So I would just want you to just stay connected to the end and subscribe and drop your own comment. Now, why are they actually shouting or saying the military should take over? For those of you that are still alive during that time, during the military era, we will not want something of such to happen again, you get. So that is just how it is. And so I have a lot of things I'm going to be engaging today. I'll actually be engaging in a particular video today by Adams Oshiomhole, one of the sitting senator in Nigeria, when he tackled all of this issue, and even Rufai Oseni one more time. For those that knows Rufai Oseni, he's a fearless journalist. So I'm going to be engaging these things regarding the presidential speech and why Nigerians still insist they are not backing out of this protest, and why are they shouting the military should take over. This thing is getting out of hands, and why are they carrying Russian flags without them knowing the implications of those things. So that is all. So guys, just watch and drop your comments at the comment section of this video. We've seen a number of stories, a number of videos flying whereby some thugs and hoodlums are even attacking some politicians and several things like that. So I want you to stay connected and subscribe to this YouTube channel. God bless Nigeria and God bless Africa. So guys, watch and drop your comment. And to those still insisting on the protest, please, what we support is peaceful protest, no violence attached and nothing negative attached. Just go ahead and let the government know your agitation, but ensure it is peaceful within the confines of the law. So watch and stay connected.
The only way to effect a change of government is to go through elections as provided for in the Constitution. There is no room for regime change. There is no room for military takeover of government in Nigeria. We have gone under military rule for several years. If it was a solution since 1996 or till 1999, Nigeria would have been Eldorado. So for the courage with which you speak, you did this out of defense. I was quite pleased with that, along with your colleagues on this program. Now, on Wednesday, just on the 2nd of August, before the protest began, I saw many people, including some of your colleagues, calling for peaceful protest, emphasizing that the Constitution guaranteed the right to peaceful protest. I found myself in a very difficult situation because, Ruben, more than anybody else, you and I have interfaced even during protests in front of Guardian newspapers. I have led so many countless protests, whether in the public sector, in the private sector, at the national level. However, I did say then, that was on the 2nd of August, like, let nobody talk about peaceful protest. It is impossible. Why did I say that? Whereas I recognize the right to peaceful protest, which I exploited and I enjoyed it, I expanded it, I practicalized it. I also said, when you exercise those rights to protest, we must also look at what are the demands. And I'm happy that I said, after seeing, because these people are faceless, I look at the totality of the different voices we can put together from the social media, and I said, my summary, my takeaway from it is that a lot of these guys are only hiding other hunger, other unemployment. What they actually ask is for is regime change. And I said, you cannot legally, lawfully, and peacefully demand regime change under the Nigeria Constitution. And that those who have lost presidential election, those two candidates who spoke in favor of so-called peaceful protests, I have had the opportunity to interface with them when I was president of the NLC. And at different fora, each of these guys lectured me about the need to avoid, quote, miscreant, quote, hoodlum from taking over whatever we consider to be a legitimate thing. And I said, sociologically, it is absolutely impossible for an amorphous group, I emphasize amorphous, in the sense that, and it's not a degrading word, amorphous is that they are not organized, they are not structured, the faces are unknown, they talk from time to time, different guys talk, both within the country and outside the country. And so, who are you going to engage? And they are not accountable to anyone. They are not elected by anyone to whom they will report to as to at what point do we start, at what point do we stop, and where was the forum where they gathered to meet and agree on this demand. And my summary of it is that what they were demanding cannot be achieved peacefully, and it was illegal demand to demand regime change. Because also some of them say, for example, they want to revise a repeal of the 1999 Constitution. And I said, you cannot peacefully demand that because the power to change the 1999 Constitution, if that is what Nigeria wants, is not vested in the president of Nigeria. The only way to amend the Nigeria Constitution is as provided for in the Nigeria Constitution. That power is not with the executive. That power is not even with the federal legislature alone. That power has to be shared by both national and state legislatures. And a lot of eminent Nigeria, well-meaning Nigeria, even though I don't agree with them, have canvassed various ways whether we should return back to regionalism, whether we should report back to parliamentary system. All those are legitimate ways to express people's opinion. But I see confusion among the elite because it is this same elite, including a good section of the media, that celebrated Rotimi Williams' 21-man wise men who ordered the military after consulting Nigerians, quote and unquote. Those Nigerians are the elite, the speaking class, those who are invited to conferences, who told us that given Nigeria experiences that led to the overthrow of the parliamentary system in 1996, but we now need to have a strong president, a strong center. And so they move away from the parliamentary system to presidential system. And they enumerated how beautiful the American system is. And so here we are. If people, for whatever reason, and these are not things that are done by people carrying sticks, people carrying green leaves, this has to be done by people who are really seasoned and who are knowledgeable about those issues. Now, what has the 1999 Constitution do with the fact of fuel subsidy? What has it going to do with the fact that somebody is hungry? If you change overnight, assume it's about changing from NEPA to generator, will that bring food on the table? No. Those canvassing these views, I was clear, are not those guys who are hungry. I saw a young man in Plateau, and I was excited that young man, we shouldn't be more than 22, 25. And he looked like a graduate, by the way, listening to his language. He said, we have spoken. We don't want this to get out of hand after the first day. I believe the president has listened. Now, the second question is about the president's speech. I commend wholeheartedly, from the bottom of my heart, the patience of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the way in which he addressed those issues. Now, let me explain why.
All right.
He tried to, first, he acknowledged that there is hardship in the country. He didn't dismiss it. It's important that a leader acknowledge the legitimacy of what people are saying. However, he said, I have listened. I have heard you. A leader, a father who is talking to children who are crying. My children, I have heard you. I have listened. Stop crying. I will do something. There is no, if today I am the president, If today, Dr. Abati, and you are qualified to be president, you are faced overnight with those numbers. I say, we are hungry today. What do you do today? In any case, the immediate thing the president has to do, which some of us don't even agree to.
All right.
We now have to seek governors, president commissioning distribution of rice. I would like to see commissioning of industrial, of factories that will provide job. Commissioning return to agriculture.
Right,
but the government of President Tinubu had to resort to what they now call palliatives.
Comrade, let's be truthful in Nigeria. Because I see we lack a lot of truth, and that's why our lives are never going to be better as a country. The day we start to speak the truth...
On both sides, yes. Truth is constant. You can't defeat the truth. And that's why I have the courage to speak my mind.
Let me land, comrade. You are saying today that when you people went out for Occupy Nigeria in 2012, the word occupy, you are blaming...
I wasn't part of it.
No, hang on a minute. I'm saying when all these well-meaning Nigerians, including the current president and affiliation with the political party, the APC, went out then protesting against subsidy, you are saying that the word occupy Nigeria doesn't mean to take over Nigeria. You are saying they didn't probably threaten regime change and all of that. Comrade, the truth has to be said that the group that organizes this protest is not faceless, except you choose to say you don't know them. You are saying you don't know Deji Adeyanju. You are saying you don't know Yemi Adamolem, which are people that have been frontline, civil society activists in this country. These are people that also made input in other protests. They are a valid group. So let's set that side apart first. Let's set apart that side. The second one, you said the president, when he gave his speech, it was a good speech. A lot of Nigerians say no. If you read that speech, apart from the conciliatory part of, yes, I'm sorry about the fact that people died, which a lot of people blame the president, because if he had come out to speak on time, that protest might not have even held in the first place. But he left it until after people died to come and speak, which was an abdication of responsibility. He now went ahead to rehash promises that we already know. Let me give you empirical facts this morning. As at 2022, Timi Silva's target was to get over 5 million CNG cars on the road. President Tinubu promised 1 million CNGs. That's even a backward walk from Timi Silva's promise. He said he's going to do 10 million hectares. He said he's going to cultivate 500,000 hectares last year. We have not seen the food. Food inflation is still over 40%. He's celebrating the fact that, okay, we have 9.1 trillion now in revenue earnings, that we earn more compared to last year. But don't forget also the fact you politicians come out to tell us how broke government is. In fact, the deficit is also increasing. He said he's going to do, he's giving over 570 billion to the states. Some of the states came out to say that they've got nothing really. We said we are sharing palliative. People can't feel the impact. So a lot of people say it was just another campaign rhetoric, empty on promises and less on impact. And you said that speech was okay. So my two questions are,
can I reply, sir?
Yes, go ahead, sir. You have the floor.
Your two questions, because you spoke at less, so reduce that to two questions.
Yes. The first question is...
What are your two questions, sir?
The people know, you people know the organizers of the protest. Do not say it was faceless because it's been hijacked by people. And ample intelligence was provided that it was going to be hijacked. What did the government do about it? You people know the organizer of it was not a faceless protest. That's the first question. I'm challenging your initial narrative. And I'm saying the president's speech was flawed. And I've given you empirical facts.
Excuse me, my dear friend Rufai, I hope to see you in the very near future so we can have a tea without or after this session.
And we dance again.
You are entitled to your evaluation. Excuse me, I will dance again. And I have improved even at elder age. But one thing you have to agree is that one man's sense of objectivity is another man's idea of objectivity. When people say, I am being factual, as you have claimed, I am being objective. You are objective sometimes only to the extent that you are not aware of your own biases or you are not aware of your own subjectivity. This is fact in social sciences. And to say that one evaluation is standard, any deviant is wrong, is not valid in social sciences. Now, I told you one word. It's not about all those who want the president mentioned, was just to remind people that he has not been sleeping. If he says he will farm, he will have farm and produce all the food in 1 year. If it was that easy to produce the food in 1 year, from Obasanjo's return to school in his first coming as military government, as a military head of state, I saw him with joy as a villager. I saw a president with them, Chief of General Staff, Yaradua, say school to farm program. I remember President Shehu Shagari saying, we want green revolution. All these governments have promised this. This man is only in office for 1 year. He outlined what he's going to do. And Rufai, how long did it take to set up a credible, now highly competitive Arise television? From the day my dear friend conceptualized the idea, and I told him it's impossible. I can reveal to you, I and KK discussed, I said, this man is always too, how is he going to compete with CNN? How is he going to compete with China already established? Today, it's a reality. It's not just in existence. Arise has become an authoritative national network. Between conceptualization and realization, it takes time. It takes huge time. Now, why I say these people are faceless and that they wanted regime change, I listened to all these names you mentioned, plus others. I don't know them. You can't say I know them because you know them. Now, which Nigeria does not know Wole Soyinka? Who didn't know Gani Fawehinmi of blessed memory? Who doesn't know Femi Falana? You see, the issue of we know some individuals. How much trust do those individuals command in the bar of the average Nigerian? Those people carry sticks in Kano.
Do you know Sowore?
Those people who... I know Sowore as a defeated presidential candidate. And when you are defeated in election, you wait for the man who won, you give him time. Sowore should know. He had interviewed me in Washington, and I met with him. I like what he was doing. I think he became one of the most authoritative first online, publisher. Sahara Reporters. What you get from Sahara Reporters, I often wonder, how does he get his information? In my view, he was at his best. But once he dragged himself into politics and contest election, he has become a politician. And if you discredit politicians, Rufai, as you often do, you can't pick and choose.
Congress Senator.
So when it cannot be seen as speaking, people will see him as still nursing the grievances, the pain of his defeat.
Congress Senator.
So that is not the guy to speak for those people in Kano, for those who throw bomb in Maiduguri, for those who hijack vehicles in this. Number 3, what did you expect a president to do when he is mourning the death of people avoidably? No president will throw ice cream where the nation is under stress.
Senator.
He didn't need to smile unnecessarily because he wasn't addressing...
Senator.
He wasn't... Listen, you have to give me the opportunity, sir, with due respect. He wasn't celebrating October 1st or Democracy Day. He was addressing rioters and protesters that have claimed life. He needed to wear a face of a president that recognized. Did you watch the British Prime Minister? Did you see how he addressed the British people following the riots in Britain? He didn't deny the fact that 3 innocent children shouldn't have been killed. However, that was not a justification for looting and violence. And he said, we will deal firmly with these right-wing Protestants, these extremists. We will deal firmly. We will bring them to justice. I didn't see him saying, Mr. Ice Cream, increase ice cream from Harrods. I distribute to them. No leader. We watch those smokes in different parts of the country. And they come and wear a smile. My children, I'm appealing to you. He told the children, I have listened. I have heard you. That is loaded. Minimum words, maximum wisdom. Now you want him to decree on the heart of it. He said, even if it was lawmaking, can he decree a law? He's not in a position to do so. Now I have listened. What I expected, people like you, Rufai, people like you, Ruben, I saw you say you should have made the address before. Let's face it. Play back a lot of your own coverage of the villa. And you will see a different fora President Bola Ahmed Tinubu says, I understand the unintended consequences of some of the bold decisions I have taken. Now, I had a huge challenge to make between managing the exchange rate to avoid these rent seekers being in business where a central bank governor can make a ruble. If he likes you, he allocates you $5 million. You become $3 million rich overnight. You don't need to work again.
Mr. Shomole, Dr. Abati needs to come in here.
And he said, I could have... Wait.
Dr. Abati needs to come because of time. Mr. Shomole, he needs to come in.
For people like me,
Please, he needs to come in here. But at least now, Dr. Abati needs to ask you a question because of time. But at least I'm happy now you now know one of the protester leaders, Showore. So because you said you don't know any of them before. So I'm happy at least you've claimed you know one now. Dr. Abati, please,
I do not recognize the legitimacy of a protest from Washington. I do not. Okay, you can't be in Washington and be organizing protests in Nigeria. No, those are absentee leaders. Excuse me, we call those ones absentee desktop leaders. No. I led from the front. I collected tear gas in the premises of Guardian newspapers.
Okay.
I did it
Senator.
in the premises of Federal Secretariat. Senator. I did it in Shomolu in Lagos. So, excuse me. So, when we are talking, how can you ask a serious president, a president elected, to now allow one of those he defeated to go to the comfort of Washington and be shouting from there? And say, I am directing you, I'm hungry. If he's hungry, he's going to feast Nigeria from Washington. Come on, let's be serious. Protest is not a Christmas party. Okay. It's not distributing ice cream.
Very quickly, I wanted to
So Warren should do what is best. He should have called to Nigeria. Excuse me, when I was NSC president, and President Tinubu increased fuel price to a level I consider injurious to our economy. That was the first battle, from 10 naira to 30. I came back from Geneva where I was a board member of an International Labour Organization. Because for me, if I'm not home, what am I doing in Geneva? I came back home.
Okay,
I left from before. I told my colleagues, let's go to Abuja.
Senator, we need to go to Dr. Abati. Thank you.
Senator, okay.
Thank you very much.
So many questions to ask you, but let's see what we can quickly, in the remaining 2 minutes that we have, dragging. I don't think...
I will try to be as brief as I can.
I don't think the big issue is about the identity of the protesters. This is a Gen Z-driven protest, and they are just saying they have the right to protest. They don't need to be big names. We have seen what the Gen Z has been able to do in Bangladesh, for example. Who is the leader of the protest? They just say they are students. But let's go to Edo State. Now, Monday Akpabio, who is the candidate of the APC in this election, is now being supported by Philip Shaibu. We saw Philip Shaibu joining the APC and bowing down before you. Now, how comfortable is that for you? And then secondly, the allegation that you also seem to have subtle sympathy for Asuai Godalo, the candidate of the PDP. Just your comment on Edo State politics. Let's leave President Tinubu, you worry about his own issues. Yes, Edo State.
No, I'm sure he's taking charge. Today I saw it from your Guardian, from your lead newspaper, this day we say newspaper of record, saying that only yesterday, the vice president chaired a committee on how to bring the textile industries back. And they recognize that they can create 1.5 million jobs in the textile industry every year. That is, today I'm going to celebrate, because I've been talking about that time and time again since this president came in, that the job have to come from manufacturing sector. So that said, now Edo politics. Asuai Godalo is not electable. Right now, he fraudulently, according to the Federal High Court, manipulated and disobeyed the constitution of the PDP. He violated the electoral law and the electoral act, and that the primary that produced him was done in clear breach of the law and constitution. So as we speak, he's not a candidate. Number two, Asuai Godalo cannot even speak the language of people of Ewohimi, where my late wife come from. Asuai Godalo is not electable. Nigeria don't want double-breasted consultant transaction expert with one hand in the pocket. They have never been identified. He said he was chairman of Alagodaro. What was the achievement of Alagodaro? Other than spending billions of naira in consultancy. He is not electable. He does not understand the people. He doesn't know Edo State. He can't speak the language of his own village. Even the day he went to announce himself, he carried an interpreter to speak to his own villagers. When he finished, he went to Benin. He didn't sleep in his village because local people in his view are all witches and wizards, typical of some segment of the elite. A man like that can't govern. How can my dear friend Ruben, you know I can never sit on the fence. Aswe is not electable. I cannot support him to do what? Aswe is a worse version. All the people say they are technocrat. Let them remain in consultancy and do some transaction, whether they are lawful or unlawful. He managed a bank that is in business with Edo State. We have to investigate how much he has made it in consultancy between Edo State government and his own private company, including where he chairs some bank, whether he was a chairman or not.
Mr. Chairman, please fact check yourself as regards the court judgment. You talked about the court judgment. Fact check yourself. Ayo, I think appeal court has
reversed in Abuja.
Yes,
actually upheld
his judgment. So fact check yourself, Senator.
I think it's important to put truth
out there.
The court
it's not the Federal High Court.
No, you are not correct. You are not current. You are not current.
Okay.
What was before the Court of Appeal? There are several cases, right? One has to do with the one filed by Philip Shaibu. That one, the court said, Philip Shaibu has no jurisdiction because he did not participate in the former convention without going into the merit. Even yesterday, the issue of whether or not he forged his his registration card with INEC. INEC has said the card he paraded was not issued by them.
Senator
excuse me.
What ruling were you referring to there? Because we need to ensure that it's facts we're speaking. What ruling did you refer to? The one that says he forged or he's not the candidate?
Yeah, he has gone on appeal.
What ruling
is
that?
When that declaration was made, he said, excuse me, I don't know, I didn't come here to discuss
so what
that,
we have
I know that as of today, excuse me, Aswe is fine. Wait, I'm not going to bother myself about this appeal.
All right.
What is important? What is important is this. What is important is this. Don't let us waste time on this thing. If he thinks he did have a case, he shouldn't have filed appeal. He filed appeal with the Court of Appeal yesterday. Or
he has the right of appeal.
This means we have certified true copy signed by the judge. He has the right of appeal, but he knows that he lost that, he exercised the right, and the Court of Appeal rejected it. They are now headed to Supreme Court. And pray for him, because we don't want shortcut. We want to defeat him so that he understands that the Edo people are wiser now.
Senator.
Last time they use ethnicity, they use all kind of thing. This are the kind. Now let me go to the issue of Shaibu, because you asked me two questions. I with respect, allow me to answer the issue of Shaibu. Now you say you saw Shaibu kneeling down before me in public. I didn't ask him to kneel down. He said he's a prodigal son, and that is biblical. Who am I to stop him? Now a father must have a large heart. We have welcomed him back into the APC family. It is not about whether he disrespected me. He did things that I will never have approved of, and I spoke so in another channel. I'm not going to repeat it today. So I am not going to now get myself detained by the fact that one of my children misbehaved. I have forgiven him. I have forgiven him, and I hope he has also learned his lesson. But you don't throw everything away. If I don't forgive him, I cannot ask God to forgive me. I am a Catholic. One of the prayers I say every day, this morning, is that, Father, forgive me my trespasses as I forgive those who trespass against me.
The Lord's Prayer.
In the Catholic doctrine, you are not entitled to seek forgiveness if you yourself, you are not capable of forgiving those who wrong you.
Okay,
so I have forgiven him. And somebody asked me, can I trust his future loyalty? I said, that's a matter of time. For now, forgiveness is the name of the game. Now, it is not about whether there is hunger. I said so. If the president acknowledges it, who are you and I to deny it? That is not the issue. The issue is the people use what they see as what everybody can feel. And why do you think, Ayo, that President Tinubu resorted to giving state government 570 billion naira to do quick win palliatives? Why has it become suddenly? In my days, I don't know how many times President Obasanjo when I was NSC president, went to buy rice to distribute to Nigerians. He said, well, I should go and farm, which is the legitimate thing to do. But this government, realizing the pains and so on, has had to resort to these measures in the short run. In the long run, it has to be that we produce what we eat and we eat what we produce. But this cannot be decreed by 10 days protesters. The president has spoken. Why I said it is not legitimate, and I have no question about that. At no time in my protest history did I demand that there should be regime change.